Yeah, so tonight it's the Charlie Watts tribute episode, of course, and actually a tribute to other drummers that are still here or long gone that have left us. Um, so let me begin. Stones fan for over 40 years. Um, for me, it was the Beatles, then the Stones, then the Who, then Led Zeppelin, and so on and so on. You know, every one leads always into the other. But for my son, you know, he would have seen Charlie Watts 2 years ago live here in Phoenix, but we had to miss the show because originally the show was booked in between his high school graduation and boot camp. He's Army Reserves. And when Jagger got sick, they had to delay everything, and we figured, okay, no big deal. Abe's going to do boot camp, then he's going to do his job training, and then we'll see the show probably November or December, right? Well, the thing is, nowadays, and my old man had this surgery 20 years ago. Jagger's a physically fit person, right? I mean, there's no argument there. For his age, you can say what you will, but the man's physically fit. Well, he has the open heart surgery, has the valves and all that replaced, and they're on the road after like just over a month. They're back on the road, and I'm like, fuck. When we found out the date that the Phoenix show was rescheduled, well, he's stuck in between boot camp graduation and job training, and both were going together. And he's already seen Neil Peart live with Rush, 2010 Blues Fest. He's seen Ringo live 3 years ago up in Pittsburgh. I flew him up there when I was working there 5 days a week and coming home on the weekends. All right. He's seen 3 Days Grace with Neil Sanderson on drums, another one of his big heroes. My son doesn't play drums anymore. You know, it's just, you know, like everything else. When you're good, you're good. When you're so-so, you kind of know. It's like me. I'm a rusty-fingered keyboard player. I'll never be Keith Emerson, Rick Wakeman, Tony Banks, John Lord, or Chick Corea for that matter. So I quit while I was way behind. So you never got to see Charlie Watts behind the kit. I took my son to go see The Who back in 2011 in Ottawa. And I mean, he knew the songs and everything else, but he was only there to see Zach Starkey, right? Like I said, he's seen the son first, and then he saw the father, right? He was blown away, right? What pissed him off, and me too for that matter, was that was the year they decided to milk Quadrophenia again. And I'm like, fuck, guys, come on. You did this to me in '97. I'm coming back to see you 14 years later, and this is the tour you guys are going to milk this on, the tour that I bring my son? Yeah, I'm being selfish, but whatever. I'm a Tommy guy. I'm not much of a Quadrophenia person. That's me. You know, about 10 years ago, we'd met Ian Pace at Dave's Drum Shop in Ottawa at a meet and greet, and super nice guy. I mean, you know, very friendly, and all these drummers, Todd Zuckerman from Styx, when they see kids that age, 10, 11 years old, and they're into it, they'd rather talk to them for 15 or 20 minutes than to us old geezers that just want the fucking autographs, right? And I think that's awesome. And it's every single drummer that we'd ever met, right? Fast forward to a couple of years ago, 2017, Carl Palmer and his three-piece were doing the ELP tribute thing, and he always does a meet and greet after his set. And so went to the meet and greet. My kid didn't know who the hell Carl Palmer was, but he saw him play live literally, you know, moments before. He's like, holy fuck, okay. So shot the shit with my son, signed his crash symbol for him. I bought a copy of the DVD that he did with Steve Hackett, and then the usual. And then about a year later, I saw Carl Palmer live again in Sacramento, and met him in the line, and just to say thank you for signing all this stuff for my son. And he remembered us, like legitimately remembered us, right? And what can you say? I mean, not that we'd ever meet Charlie Watts, you know, and all that stuff, but I'm sure from what I've seen in the interviews, he's super chill, right? And that's my thing on drummers. You know, it's sad it happened. Obviously, we knew after missing that Phoenix show that they'd booked a Las Vegas show, and then when we'd heard he was sick, and my son was like, "Dad, I can't. Even if you could get me the tickets, no Charlie Watts, I ain't going." And by the way, those Phoenix tickets, I wound up selling them on StubHub. I lost a little bit of coin, but I was stupid. I never sold stuff on StubHub before because I couldn't, rightfully so, go to the show without taking my son with me. My wife offered, "Well, I'll go with you." I said, "Dear, it's not the same. We love you, but I did this for him." You know, myself 2 years ago, had I not seen the Stones live, it wouldn't have been the end of the world for me because I'd seen them in '89, Steel Wheels tour, saw them in 2002 for the 40 Licks tour, saw them again in 2003 at SARS Stock in Toronto, right? And now with no Charlie Watts, as Keith Richards said 20 years ago, there ain't no Rolling Stones. So what else can I tell you guys? Thank you, Charlie. Cheers. Godspeed, my friend. Thanks again for watching, guys. Again, nothing really positive, nothing audio related other than sold the Gelita, continuing to build the 5-channel Ultra amplifier. Parts are coming in slowly, and that's basically it, guys. All right, have a good rest of your weekend. Talk to you again.